See, now to me, that button's in the worst possible spot.
That looks worse.
You look worse. Turn the main light off.
How come it's looking so shitty now? What about is there a blind in front of you?
Whatever, it's fine right there. Whatever. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, you look really ginger right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, look at the two fucking idiots wearing hats. Fucking both balding, probably.
Yeah, right. Fresh.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the High Button. High Button. My name is Justin Belanger, always welcomed by Dudes and Billy. Say hello, fellas.
What's going on, fellas?
You just can't say hello, eh? You always got to...
What are you going on about now?
All right, great topics today. You know, the whole province was almost underwater. We survived. Let's start with Hurricane Dorian. Dorian. Let's start with Hurricane Dorian. Dudes, we'll start with you. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. Same old story that you're going to hear from everybody, whether you lost power or you didn't. I did. Wasn't too riled about it because Mr. Doug Wig there always has the tools to stay watching TV and shit during the storm. But we didn't get it the worst. I know it was bad here and it was real shitty for some people, but places like the Bahamas and stuff like that, I think there's like 50 people recorded that are dead. Like they may not bounce back from that shit, you know what I mean? And even in the States, there were some deaths, and I don't think there was any here. But the main points for me is people. I get a kick out of people, man. One guy was selling cases of water for $30 fucking. Like, come on, buddy. There's a time to be an entrepreneur, and I don't think that's the time. You know, you can get it for $2 at the grocery store. Anyways, that guy's a bird. I hope karma gets him. And another thing, I'm out driving all the time for work, and there's intersections that don't have lights that are working, and fucking idiots just drive through like it's a green light. And there's been so many accidents, so many close calls, even with me. It's just ridiculous. So I don't know. I think the city did good, and people came together like we knew they would on the East Coast, and it was shitty. But I think we're bouncing back now, and hats off to NS Power. I don't care what anybody says.
All right, Billy.
Yeah, no, same thing, reiterating the Nova Scotia Power, like kudos to them getting crews out. I know that they've been working nonstop. I've been seeing them all over the place. Walking into Tim's yesterday, people were buying them coffees and donuts and like that kind of stuff. Like it just shows the kind of people that the Maritimes have. It's great to see. Kind of a piss off as a sports fan. I mean, Saturday, my power went out pretty early. I usually like to watch a little college football and then some MLB. And then on Sunday, we didn't have power as well, so we didn't get to watch week 1 of the NFL, which was pretty bullshit in my opinion. But I mean, I like for as bad of a storm as it could have been, it only hit as a tropical storm. It didn't hit as a hurricane or anything like that. So it could have been much, much worse. Luckily, the city's done well, and it was fun for the couple of days kind of regrouping and unwinding from technology for a couple of days. It was a nice little treat too.
Dudes, you go 50 people passed away in the Bahamas. I don't know if they're going to bounce back from that.
What do you mean? Like the
you go. I think 50 people are dead in the Bahamas. It's gonna be tough to bounce back from that.
Well, it is. Pretty much a guarantee I gave them.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to bounce back from that.
I realized I had to be so specific. Tell you that the whole Bahamas wasn't going to bounce back. Like, fuck.
All right. Yeah, you know, it was a hurricane. I was out in Chester on a little vacay. We had power the whole time. Food, I don't know where I was. I didn't really experience the hurricane, to be honest with you. We were just watching the news the whole time and watching cranes fall over, boats being washed up onto shore. And by the way, if you're a boat owner and you don't think ahead to pull your boat out of the water before a hurricane, how are you smart enough to have a boat or affordable? I don't know.
Well, they got enough money to fix the boat, so it doesn't matter if it gets messed up anyway, right? Think about it.
That's a great point, Billy. That's a great point. I never thought of that. But yeah, what the hell? Cool hurricane. I don't mind a little. I don't mind a disaster every now and then. It shakes things up. when you have the same routine going on every single day, it can kind of get boring. But, a little hurricane, a flood every now and then, I don't mind it. It switches things up, and it keeps you creative, keeps you whatever, keeps
This
you going.
guy that didn't fucking experience the hurricane.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with you. That's true, but it's not my fault the hurricane missed me. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I mean, the kids are probably fired up. They got a couple days off school, and
Yes.
You remember
Like,
Hurricane
imagine-
Juan?
yeah, true.
I played a week straight of ball hockey because we had no school. It was the best week ever.
Yeah. All right. Antonio Brown going to the Pats. The Raiders, who apparently are the worst professional sports organization across all sports. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm reading. That was a lie. I don't read. But what I hear is that they let him go, and now he has joined the New England Patriots, who are already an NFL dominant super team. Brady, Belichick, Edelman, Gordon. I don't really know football that well, but apparently this guy's the best wide receiver in all of football, and now he's going to a powerhouse, which are the Pats, and they're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. Billy, we'll start with you.
Well, first off, this guy was a complete dick for the entire training camp. I watched a little bit of that Hard Knock show that HBO puts out. He is an absolute clown, first off. I can't believe they want him on his team, like on one of the best teams. I mean, if anyone's going to straighten him out, it's Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Yeah, I get it. But the guy has so much skill that he's just arrogant to the fact that he's like, I have so much skill. It doesn't matter what the hell I do. I can throw my helmet at punters and not wear the proper helmet. Like, he was literally trending on Twitter for 8 days for separate different incidents. Like, what kind of an asshole do you have to be on Twitter for all the wrong reasons for 8 straight days other than Trump? Like, I mean, come on, let's figure it out here. Like, I mean, he's a good football player, but you can't reward that. Like, it's garbage, in my opinion.
All right, dudes.
To be honest with you, I don't know anything about football and I really don't give a fuck about it. The Patriots can fuck off. They're constantly winning. Everyone's favorite team. If you don't know football, you automatically are a Patriots fan or whatever. But this one I found intriguing because, like Billy said, this guy's just a complete dickhead. And I kind of like that kind of controversy in sports, and I find it happens in football more than anything. So I did a little digging. And it's like a conspiracy theory, basically, that, he basically planned this. He knew that if he was just an asshole and did all the wrong things, that eventually the Pats would just sign him because obviously they want all the best players. But I read a couple things. There's he wears number 84 normally, but that's already taken by one of the players on the Patriots. So they're saying that the only way for him to get it would be to buy it, or for that guy to sell it to him, which made me think like that would never fucking happen in hockey or like baseball or any of that shit. You know what I mean? You see cases all the time.
Definitely does.
What? It definitely does, but
hockey.
it's not reported, right? But you see a lot of times in hockey where the guy's like, you know what, this guy's a vet. I'm just going to give him the number. I'll switch, no hard feelings or whatever. But there was a little catch to the scenario is you can't change your number once the regular season starts. But then the side thing was neither one of these two guys have played a regular season game. So now they're just making him saying he's going to be an asshole about it because he was about the helmet issue and he's just a prick. But I don't know. I don't really give a shit. That was just the digging I did, and this guy can fuck off.
Yeah, I don't really, I really don't have any opinion on anyone that's making I think he's making $15 million a year. I'm not going to get mad at the guy. Whatever the hell he wants to do in his life off the field, who am I to judge? I'm way too busy to care about what other people are doing with their lives. All I know is that he's a great football player. He's making tons of money. So who really cares what his situation is outside of football? He's happy. He looks happy. Then I'm all for him. I couldn't care less what people think of him. I really don't care. He doesn't think of me, so I don't think of him. Okay, Ortiz returning to Fenway gave me the chills. As we all know, I think it was 2, maybe 3 months ago, he was shot in the Dominican Republic at a local bar. He recovered. He seems healthy, and the Red Sox welcomed him back with a standing ovation yesterday. Crazy video.
Good evening. Good evening. Hey, first of all, I want to thank God for giving me a second opportunity in my life to be able to be here with all of you. I want to thank the Red Sox, my real family. They always have been there for me, supporting me. They were aware of what happened to me, and they were the first one there supporting me. Thank you very much, Red Sox family. I want to thank all of you for all the prayers. All of them came home. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I want to thank my former teammates for being there for me also. All of them came home to check up on his boy. Also, I want to thank the Yankees. A lot of my boys over there came and check up on Big Papi. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. CC, Encarnacion, all y'all, man. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Go Sox.
Who do we start with last, dudes or Billy?
Dudes, go.
So we'll go with Billy, or we don't want to go with
No,
dudes?
go dudes, yeah.
Okay, dudes, you go.
Yeah, so obviously you said it gave you chills. Like any huge sports fan, it would. I happened to just tune in as they were doing it, and I honestly had no idea that it was happening. I don't think it was like premeditated that much. I think I heard on the broadcast that it was like 45 minutes before game time this all kind of transpired. But I mean, he came back to what he should have came back to, other than the loss to the Yanks. But I think the game last night was probably a little bit about more than the score and shit like that. And Big Papi's a legend, man. He looks good. It was his first major appearance, I guess, in front of public since the incident. And he came back in Big Papi fashion. He had the big gold chain on. He had the 6 shades, fresh fade. And I had chills the whole time too. So yeah, it was fun to be able to watch that live.
All right, Bill.
No, just honestly seeing Big Papi out with the Red Sox jersey out in the middle of Fenway with the microphone, it felt a lot like after the Boston bombing with the marathon. He was out there kind of rallying everyone up. He's one of those larger than life characters. Like he's synonymous with Boston now. Like even though he's from the Dominican Republic, he has his American citizenship. He considers himself from Boston. Like he still loves Dominican, but once that incident happened in Dominican, he came right back to Boston because that's a home for him. And the way he was thanking the Red Sox organization and then the Yankees organization, like everyone knows the rivalry, but to thank the other organization that's shown support, like everyone hates the Yankees in Boston, but at that point, it's more than just the rivalry in the game. It's about people and being a society together, and it was great to see. Gave everyone chills, and I mean, who doesn't like to hear Big Papi rile the crowd up?
It was cool because we were there this year at Fenway, and just to think about that crowd being packed cheering for a legend that was in that organization for I don't even know how many years, but I don't know, just seeing it on TV. And you're right, Billy, with the whole Boston bombings thing, and he's like, this is our fucking city. Very similar to the same type of feel when you watch that for the first time. And just talk about it, like, no, not even a baseball player, just a human. To be able to get on a mic in front of, I don't know how many people that stadium holds, 30, 40,000 people, and just have the confidence to say whatever the hell you want and thank a whole city for supporting you while he's in Cuba in the hospital. And you have, I think he said, guys from the Yankees reached out to him, guys from his team reached out to him, people from all around America probably reached out to him. So the type of guy he is, more than the baseball player, that just, he's one of those guys, the type of guy I'm talking about, like a Gronk almost. Yeah. He's more than just a football player. He's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. He's
bigger than life.
He's bigger than life. Exactly. He's bigger than life. It's funny how Boston always gets these guys, though, eh?
They make them.
They put it on blast too, right? Because they have tons of major sports teams that do well, so there's always a star in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, dudes, I'm gonna let you take this one. UMaine women's field NCAA field hockey got into double overtime on one of their games the other day, and they were kicked off the field due to a firework hype up rally for the football team. So obviously this caused controversy. A lot of people are saying that it was sexist due to the fact that it was a female team being kicked off by a male team. Dudes, I'll let you take this.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know the story, I mean, I came across it this morning, and it was, in my mind, pretty gutless. Like, it's an NCAA Division I field hockey game. They just finished their first overtime at 0-0, and they're playing at a mutual spot, so to cut travel costs, right? So anyways, apparently this is on a different field than the actual football field, and they were kicked off after the first overtime at 10:45 a.m. is the word. Saying that they had to prep and leave for safety because they were doing a pregame show for the football team, which was supposed to start at noon. So I read more into it, and it was a fireworks show. All it was them taking the time to set up fireworks and do the whole hype show for the football team. And you know what? I'll sit here and say it right now. You know damn well if it was a men's field hockey game, no one would have said shit. You know damn well. They thought they could just get away with it because of a hype. Like, just have it later. You know what I mean? They have that field booked. It's NCAA. This isn't fucking junior high lob ball provincials. You know what I mean? Where you can just kind of run the show as you go. And I don't know. I just thought it was gutless. And the thing is, the overtime is only 10 minutes. After the second overtime, it goes to penalty shots. It's going to be a half hour max. You know what I mean? You have time to set up fireworks. Like, fuck. It just pissed me off. So I'm sure it pissed everyone else off the same.
All right, Bill.
Oh, I seen that over the weekend, and I almost threw my phone. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, are you kidding me? If that was at any point, how is that okay to cancel one sport for another sport? Like, you're just complete favoritism at that point. Like, it's an absolute complete joke. It's Division I sports, and then I looked it up too. The football teams. Listen to this. The football teams, they're not even the top Division I teams. It's like, so they have like all the top division teams, and then it's like the second division, Division I. So these teams, like the stadium that they're trying to hype up, I mean, it only has like 20,000 seats. That's not a lot for a university game. Wait an extra hour. What happens if it's a thunderstorm and you got to wait an extra half hour for the game? Wait an extra half hour. It's only a half hour. Like, people are there before the game drinking for the football game. Do you think if you said, oh, you got an extra half hour, they're going to be pissed about the half hour wait? No, they're going to be fired up. Give me a beer. Let's go. Like, I seen that, and I would have been pissed. Like, and it doesn't seem like they're doing much about it either, which is unfortunate for the girls because, I mean, it's a big deal for them. Most of them are on scholarships. Like, I'd be pissed, personally.
The thing for me is they were using the stadium that the field hockey was on just for the hype ceremony, whereas the football game was being played on the field that was already open. So they're kicking them off the field just for those purposes. You know what I mean? And Billy, they're not doing anything about it as far as I know. Of course, I'm an idiot, but as far as I read, there's not being much done. We're like, oh, we're sorry about canceling the game. It's going to end in a tie. Sorry. Like, what? No.
I don't know how it would work, but I would somehow try to chuck out a lawsuit because obviously the football team is in the wrong, but it's almost like you would be suing your own school. Because I don't think there's ever been a story where a game has been canceled due to someone else just wanting to do something. Like, if you look at some of the longest NHL games in history, I don't know, like 8 overtimes, they're not clearing the game out because there's a Celine Dion concert tomorrow and they got to start clearing it.
No.
I would somehow try to capitalize on this if I were the coach of the team of the field hockey team. New jerseys, new cleats, new sticks. I'm not sure like the equipment for field hockey, but somehow you got to use this to your advantage and try to get something out of it because obviously the football team's in the wrong. There's no debate.
Yeah.
See, now I may be wrong, but the way I read it was how they met at the mutual field was Kent State where they met. Yeah. But UMaine was playing a team called Templeton or Temple University or something like that, so they weren't supposed to play Kent State till the next day. So the Kent State football trumped the teams where their own school wasn't even playing. So they just basically, it's just like, you're over playing in a yard and someone just kicks you off because they don't want you there anymore. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't be suing their own school.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
At least hand them a subpoena. Maybe they'll pay you. No, you don't go to court. Anything could happen.
True enough.
You never
All
know.
right. Do you guys got anything else to say? Is there anything that I'm missing locally that's happened? Do we got to congratulate anyone?
I don't think so.
Hockey season's coming up, boys. There's going to be a lot of storylines coming, so we'll get ready for that.
I love me some hockey season.
All right, everyone watching, thank you very much. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
See, now to me, that button's in the worst possible spot.